We have a closing that's happening. It's $450,000. So I can understand what that commission is. I saw a text message come through, and there's it's not the agent's fault nor my fault. But if it does not close by a certain time, they're going to go rent. So I bet you that agent had that $450,000 times whatever in a budget for maybe Christmas, right? Or for the holidays, right?
Well, you can't help but start counting it. You know?
Right. So that's the other part that I think where you have to, how do you word it? Like separate yourself from that. Like, I don't want to see those numbers. I just need to keep working, because the hardest thing I see were some originators, they had a pipeline of 5 families that they were going to help. And all of a sudden 4 fell out, you know, and that one definitely wasn't going to hit the mark for them.
Don't spend it until it's in your bank account.
Again, that's part of your knowing your numbers. Your numbers being, look, if you're doing a good job, there's always going to be fallout.
Yes.
Okay. What is your numbers? Is it 10%? If it's more than that, more than 12, then you probably are selling too hard. If there is no fallout, then you're probably not selling hard enough. You know, there's a balance in there. You need to know your numbers. And of course, the better you get, hopefully those numbers are less and less, but know your numbers. That's one number that a lot of people don't know. They're not working in an offensive fashion. They're working in a defensive fashion. Offensive fashion, meaning the best defense is a better offense. The better offense is having more deals in the pipeline.
Right.
Don't count them. Don't count them at all. Put yourself on a basic salary like that. Maybe give yourself a bonus based on number of transaction or something like that, so your needs are met. But you're really you're building that nest egg where you can do the things that you really are wanting to do long term. That you're not putting yourself in harm's way because you're living out there at that 9,000 full clip. You know, like there's no taxes and there's no other issues to.
I know, and I've helped some families that are real estate agents. You know, and it's so hard for me to have to say you can't get this new house for yourself because you didn't pay your taxes. Right. And they didn't, and it snowballed and it gets out of control really, really fast. Right. And so really planning for that. You know, I love, if you guys have not watched The Founder, it's super good. And again, it is a real estate show because they're not selling, if you really understand the whole concept at McDonald's, it was real estate, not hamburgers.
That's a great show.
But if you don't want to watch the movie, go and just Google the Speedy system. And I think you were referencing earlier, there is a system to create a hamburger in 30 seconds, right? A perfect hamburger in 30 seconds. How do you create that perfect experience for the client, right? What is that for the Hoover team, you know, the Moore team, the, you know, Carrie Ann team type of thing? And I think starting there is super important too, right? Because you have to add that to your business plan and you have to stay consistent. That's where your brand comes into play, right? You can't just say you do something without it actually following through with true actions, you know? So learning that part and adding it to your plan, I think, is important as well. You know, maybe you're not adding ketchup and mustard and pickles, but there's some sort of version of it, you know?
Different ways you are.
Yeah.
Well, he sent me a video or audio one time called "Give Everyone the Pickle." Remember that?
Yeah, let them have the pickle.
Let them have the pickle. That was a great.
Give them
that's
the pickle.
Great analogy.
Well, you know, in my office, I'm like, do you have your two? Oh, and that is an awesome one. Is that ice cream or something? No. Is that the storyline with the ice cream guy? We'll get to it in a different.
That's why I said give him a pickle.
Yeah, but there's some
the
pickle
ice cream guy's not going to give him pickles.
Yeah, yes, there is. There's some dude I think named Pickle. I don't know, but I'll look it up. But in our office, we talk about, do you have your 2 pickles? All I have to say is 2, because it's not about, if you understand that hamburger does not leave without 2 pickles. Yeah. 2 pickles constantly, right? Constant. It's a consistent 2 pickles. And if there's not 2 pickles, it gets over here, right? Type of thing. So having that file consistent the same way every single
Rhythm
time.
of business.
And that is so key, right? And so, do you have your 2 pickles? Yeah. But I swear there's a pickle with ice cream or something. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to go back. We'll talk about it at a different topic.
Book or something. I don't know.
I did eat a lot of pickles. You're right. Jersey Mike's not Jersey Mike's, Jimmy John's. They bring you a whole thing of pickles. And when I was pregnant, they came daily to my office right up here down the street. It was too funny. I don't eat that many pickles anymore.
Outside of pickles, so back on the business plan.
Going back to the business plan.
So one thing, just to kind of go back over to say, you need to know your budget. And then from there you can determine your income forecasting, and from there you've got to understand how you're going to build that or how you're going to get that income. So that's your marketing and that's your lead generation. And so we'll be covering
stepping out of your comfort zone.
We'll be covering that. Then it comes down to how do you stay committed? That is your schedule. How are you? What's your schedule like every single day? And
Do you have kids? Do you have to pick a
yeah,
daughter up
absolutely.
or drop a
So
kid off?
It is, it applies differently to different people. And then the last piece of that is the accountability. So, all of these pieces go into your whole business plan. And yeah, you can go beyond that if you want to. You can even make it shorter. But those are, I think, essential pieces that you can understand how your business is going to be built, and you can hold yourself accountable to making that happen.
I love it. And be okay. And sometimes life changes. We learned with 2020 that you're going to have to learn to pivot, through that, but have that core, try to maintain that core, which you did this year.
Right. I don't think we're done pivoting. We're living in a lot of craziness right now. I think we need to stay light and stay ready and stay rolling, but we also need to make sure we're intentional. And I'm really looking forward to this workshop, Jason. Again, I want to say thank you for putting it together. I know you put a lot of heart and soul into this thing, and
it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. It's really going to be fun. So and we'll have that recorded by Mr. Jim McCarthy, and we'll be able to share that on our next show, maybe as to where to see that, so people can really get into it. Because again, folks, after 37 years, I cannot tell you how important it is to have this business plan in place and create some intentional behavior on a daily basis, and keep those goals out there, and then do a self-check, if not an accountability partner, a self-check every quarter at least, to make sure, do I need to adjust my goals? Because remember, if you make them too grand and you're nowhere near them, they will work against you. If you make them too light and you get there too easy, again, it works against you. It's just human nature. So have that quarterly. One thing you've talked about, Jason, is creating an accountability session on a regular basis with our company. I'm looking forward to that as well, because to me, that's going to be the secret sauce over the whole thing.
Love it. So good. So good.
So good.
I love it. Well, thanks so much for joining us, all about business planning and planning the work to work the plan. Thanks for joining us. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.